Balu Graphi, freelance multimedia designer with a decade of working experience in business branding and promotion projects for a broad range of clients.
From the early centuries of the first millennium, Southeast Asia was shaped by India's religious, cultural, and political influences spread through trade and overseas settlements rather than conquest. Over time, Indian traditions were indigenously adapted and endured major political transformations. A living legacy of this history is preserved by the Vietnamese Balamon people, who are descended from the ancient Champa Kingdom's Brahmins. In ancient India, Vedic religion emerged as a ritual-centered tradition connected to political authority, focusing on elaborate sacrifices performed by hereditary purohits for kings. Over time, the sacrificial system underwent a gradual transformation. Yajna-centered Vedic religion evolved into Brahmanism, a broader framework that emphasized Brahmin ritual purity, mastery of sacred texts, domestic rights, and inherited authority. From the early centuries of the Common Era, Brahmanism expanded far beyond the Indian subcontinent, spreading across Southeast Asia through trade networks. Brahmanism offered a powerful social structure by associating rulers with divine authority, temple cults, and royal consecration rituals. Around the 4th and 5th centuries, Shaivism began to gain a strong hold in the Champa Kingdom of Southeast Asia. The Champa Kingdom was comprised of 5 polities, which flourished in the early millennium in what is now modern-day Vietnam. The religious and cultural life was deeply influenced by Shaivism. Early contact with India was made possible by Champa's coastal regions, which brought Brahmin priests and Vedas. Champa rulers patronized and adopted Shaivism, expressed through linga worship and temple construction. My Sun temples, comprising more than 70 Hindu shrines, were constructed over 10 centuries, where kings legitimized their rule, reflecting the deep integration of Saiva traditions into Champa's political and spiritual life. In the My Sun temple complex, King Bhadravarman erected the earliest linga in Southeast Asia by the name of Bhadriswara in the 4th century. At the core of this tradition were Brahmin purohits and pujaris, who were the custodians of rituals, temple ceremonies, and sacred texts. Over time, these traditions conceptualized a distinctive form of Champa Hinduism, blending Hindu cosmology with indigenous deities and ancestor worship of Champa. Even after centuries and the political decline of Champa, this Brahmanical heritage endured, preserved among the Balamon community of Vietnam. The term Balamon originates from the Sanskrit word Brahman and claims direct descent from the Purohits and elite of the ancient Champa Kingdom. These Balamon Chams follow a distinctive, regional form of Vedic culture centering on Saiva worship. Vedic Brahmanism is centered on Brahma as the supreme creator, whereas Cham Balamon belief identifies the creative force with Pu Inu Nagar, the revered mother of the Champa, who symbolize fertility and protection. The Kate festival is celebrated in the 7th month of the Cham calendar, guided by the Brahmin pujaris named Pase, who hold the highest position in Cham Hindu society. Southeast Asian countries adapted Brahmanism to their native cultures rather than being passively Indianized. The Balamon of Vietnam constitute a culturally significant community, with 40% of the Cham population concentrated in the south-central provinces. As descendants of the ancient Champa tradition, the Balamon Brahmins preserve one of the last living continuities of Vedic culture in mainland Southeast Asia.